archaeology of Sindh is around 200-250 years old when the British came and they started to find these cities which were long forgotten but were remembered in historical documents. It wasn't until I think about 50 years ago or 60 years ago that serious work started to be done about these archaeological sites. But we didn't know about Mansurah till about 30 years ago or 40 years ago, so much as we know now.
Mansura or Brahmanabad or Bahmanabad, there are so many ways to say this, is an ancient city. Today it's 58 kilometers from Shaheed in Sindh. And what little I have read about it is that it was a city built by Raja Deher of Sindh. And in those days it was known as Brahmanabad. But when Muhammad bin Qasim conquered Sindh in the 8th century, he renamed it Mansurah.
After the abandonment of Bambor, we think that Mansurah was occupied and it was made as a capital, declared as a capital of Sindh. And no doubt that it's a very important site. We have evidence of Hindu architecture from there. We have evidence of Buddhist architecture and Muslim architecture.
At the Sorbonne in Paris, the Institute of South Asian Studies, when they were researching on trade links of Marco Polo, and before Marco Polo, when they were doing that, that's when Mansurah came into focus. And they were trying to discover which city is this that they keep mentioning, Mansurah. And then they found out that it's the city of the present day, close to the present day site of Bambor, which has its prehistoric roots, that there was a city here and then it was built upon during the various Hindu sort of eras.
Controversy that rages till today about this place is that if it was already an Arab city by the name of, or an Iranian city or a Muslim city called Bahmanabad, and not a Hindu city called Brahmanabad, then where was the need for Muhammad bin Qasim to destroy it and rebuild it and put an Islamic stamp on it and call it Mansurah?
Arabs had a very close link with India from many years ago, and they were trading with India for the longest time. And after the advent of the Umayyads in the 8th century, they started to take great interest in this part of the world, and they developed that trade route. And we see the link between Damascus and Mansurah, and then later Baghdad to Mansurah. Mansurah being referred to as an important trading post, which was taken over from Raja Daher, from the Hindu king who ruled here.
It was the main trading port which had connections with Far Eastern countries, with Middle Eastern countries and Egypt and Rome, and we have all this evidence through pottery, glass, metalwork.
Everyone agrees that there were these trade routes that led out of the city of Mansurah. It was on a major trade route from the Middle East into India, or Sindhia as some people call it. And The 4 entrances or exits of Mansurah are named Babul Turan, Har Har, Babul Sundan and Babul Multan.
One of the basic reasons of its destruction is the waterlogging in this part of Sindh. So that waterlogging has damaged a lot of the things. Whatever we managed to salvage, it's all in the National Museum in Karachi. And that has all the heritage remains, doors, doorknobs.
खोटाई जाम थी आहे हिते पासे मंझि हेॾां थी आहे अने खोटाई मंझि घणेई लधो सामान सड़ो त घणेई लधो सो खणी विया पर उन खोटाई खे 20 साल थिया वरी कोन आया
There is a large number of scholars in Sindh who don't see Muhammad bin Qasim as the savior who brought Islam. They see him as a destroyer. And they don't see Raja Daher as a villain. You know, they see him as a hero.
Some people feel that why should we even look into the remains of Mansurah, because after all, Muhammad bin Qasim, when he invaded Sindh in the early 8th century and he got rid of the Hindu regime, did he have that right to do it? And in the name of religion, would he kill so many people or try and convert? But the fact is that we don't know very many facts about it. Okay, we do know that Muhammad bin Qasim came here and he did have some kind of confrontation with the Hindu Rajas and Maharajas, and most of it is myths. But as far as facts are concerned, we don't have that many facts. And the journey that happened from Brahmanabad, the old Hindu name of Mansurah, to its present Mansurah, and then Pakistan, needs to be found out.
I feel that Mansurah has to be excavated again, it has to be propagated again and documented and restudied, you know, in the light of the scientific new methods we have discovered now.
What little I have investigated, there haven't been that many excavations. A lot needs to be done still. It's one of those places that is just crying out for archaeological study.